In a case, professor use each of these possible method. A student result depends on the category that students belongs to. Uh, and from this paper, it is a represent that mixed strategy is good for the professor. Research paper fifth, game theory in marketing science, use and limitation. This paper use some major concept in game theory and indicate how they may apply to the marketing science. The theory of game provide a framework for addressing problem of competitive strategy and buyer-seller interaction. And this is in this paper there are basic concept of game theory are introduced, and these issues are important in studying industrial market where there are small number of buyers, as well as for studying how to incorporate knowledgeable active competitor into consumer marketing mix model. In this paper, there you how game theoretical approach differ from the most previous approach, and they review the potential application of game theory in marketing and the value of applying marketing science approach in a game theory. Current research paper first. A comparative study of application of game theory in cyber security and cloud computing. In this paper, researchers have discussed the application of game theory in field of cybersecurity and the cloud computing, along with the comparative study of different game models used in their respective field. A unique approach to solve the problem of cybersecurity, such as attacks like denial of service, brute force, and SQL injection, is using game theory. In which here in this paper, players are considered as the first player is attacker and the second player is the system administrator on the opposite teams of the defenders. The game theory in cloud computing basically provides solution in cloud security and deciding the pricing strategy. Using the concept of game theory, we can analyze the optimal moves and strategy of the player involved in order to determine the best solution for each player. In this model, the player make a decision concurrent having prior information about the other player's decision. And this is a static game. And considering a detection game where service provider wants to, and in this paper, service provider wants to maximize the payoff while the attackers want to minimize chance of being detected. Second paper, a survey on game theoretical methods in human machine network. HMN refers to this network where human and a machine work together to provide effects on their payoff. Game theory, which can capture the interaction amongst players, has been widely used in solving various problems in human machine network system for the views of economic. In this paper, they excessively review the literature about game theoretical method, particularly focusing on its typical systems such as crowdsourcing and elemental human machine network and Internet of Things, as well as Bitcoin. In this paper, researchers propose a number of requirements on game theoretical modeling and analyzing and thoroughly investigated into existing work about a game theoretical method in such human machine network as a crowdsourcing and a Internet of Things as well as Bitcoin. Paper third, game theory in a sustainable decision making, a new acetic acid plant as a case study. In this paper, a case study of decision making in the installation of plant producing acetic acid is proposed as a non-cooperative game. There are three players. The company, first player is the company, which seek its economic benefit. Second player is the government, which seek to keep the majority of the population happy. And the third player is the non-government organization, which seek environmental well-being. In this paper, non-cooperative game theory was presented as a tool for sustainable industrial decision-making process. To show its applicability, a case study of the decision-making of the construction of acetic acid plant was used as an example. Research paper 4th. Supply chain game theory network modeling under labor constraint application to the COVID-19 pandemic. The COVID-19 pandemic has brought attention to supply chain network due to disruption for many reasons, including that of labor shortage as a consequence of illness, death, risk, uh, as well as a travel restriction. Many sectors of the economy, from food to healthcare, have been competing for workers as a consequence. In this paper, they introduce supply chain network game theory framework consisting of multiple profit maximizing firms competing non-cooperatively in the production, storage, and ultimate distribution of their differentiated products in the presence of labor constraint. In this paper, they construct a supply chain game theory network framework that capture labor constraint under a different scenario, and these three scenarios are three different the theory considering three different scenarios of labor constraint consisting of bounds on labor availability on supply chain link in the first scenario, bounds on labor availability across a tier of the supply chain network of the first in the second scenario, and finally in the third scenario a single bound on the labor in the supply chain network economy. Fifth paper is game theory application in production research in the sharing and circular economic era. In this paper, they concisely examine the meaning of sharing economic and circular supply chain in production research. They introduce the feature paper of the special issue and highlight the insight developed. Future research direction have discussed. This paper involves three parts. The first is application of the game theory. Second, circular economy and environmental sustainability. And third is sharing economy. In this paper, concisely examine production research and business operation in the sharing and circular economy era. There is no doubt that the game theory is a powerful tool for researchers to explore many interesting and challenging topics under this big theme. In particular, in this paper, the researcher proposed the following research: the multi-methodology analysis, the second is technology-driven study, and the third is system engineering approach. Future scope. Game theory has studied cooperation and coordination. For example, games in Prison's Dilemma, Chicken Game, Battle of Sexes, etc. Knowing a little game theory help you to figure out how to make cooperation possible. And when cooperation is completely hopeless, what's more, it can help you to turn a situation of conflict into one of cooperation if you know what to do. And a huge area of game theory is dedicated to figuring out how to get people to be fair with one another. Thank you.
Okay, Ankita. So,
Yes,
what is
sir.
the basic difference between the pure strategy and mixed strategy?
Okay. Uh, in pure strategy, the player use only one type of strategy repetitively, and that's why players know the what move the player take in a game. And in mixed strategy, the player use a combination of strategy, and other players are guessing what other players take action in a game.
Okay, the second one is question is that how many papers are from the application and how many papers are purely on basis of the theory?
सर ऍप्लिकेशन ओनली टू होते आणि थेअरी
Only
बाकीचे होते.
two.
म्हणजे सगळे थेअरीवरचेच होते सर.
No, what is the difference between the theoretical papers implementation and application implementation?
थेरॉटिकलमध्ये फक्त त्यांनी गेम थेअरी विषयच यूज केले आणि म्हणजे सांगितलं गेम बेसिक कन्सेप्ट सांगितल्यात आणि त्या कशा यूज केल्या तेवढंच सांगितलंय. आणि ते ह्याच्यात ॲप्लिकेशनमध्ये नाही ते कळलं मला.
ऍप्लिकेशन म्हणजे ऍक्च्युली ज्या मेथड्स आहेत त्या पर्टिक्युलर प्रॉब्लेमसाठी अप्लाय करणे त्याला ऍप्लिकेशन म्हणतात. आणि मेथड डेव्हलपमेंट जर असेल तर त्याला आपण थेरॉटिकल म्हणतो, म्हणजे कन्सेप्च्युअल डेव्हलपमेंट.
ओके.
ओके, गॉट इट.
हां. हो सर.
हा. आता मला सांगा की गेम थेअरीमध्ये इफ वी हॅव देर आर सम डिफरंट टाइप्स, so describe the types.
गेम थेरी टाइप्स ऑफ गेम्स, कोऑपरेटिव्ह गेम, नॉन कोऑपरेटिव्ह गेम, स्टॅटिक गेम, परत झिरो सम गेम, नॉन झिरो सम गेम. एवढंच
Okay,
माहिती.
so methods for the finding the values.
म्हणजे सर नाही मला कळलं.
Methods are used to find the values. Game value. We need to find the value of game.
Okay. For example, if two players, A player and B player, then we have to find a maximize gain of A player and minimize loss of B player. And if a maximize gain and minimize loss is equal, then we obtain the saddle point. And at the saddle point, when the payoff at the saddle point is the value of the game. And the
Which
strategy is
are
obtained.
just a minute, just a way. Which are the different methods? The saddle point is one of the one method.
Okay. I know only saddle fund, sir.
Okay, so you are in the research papers. Which methods are applicable? Applied?
In research paper, static game use, non-cooperative game use.
Okay. Okay. Good. Next.
Thank you, sir.
Mayuri, start your presentation.
सर एक मिनिट. सर स्क्रीन
Mayuri,
विजिबल आहे.
yes, Mayuri, you have only 10 minutes. So start your presentation. Now
ओके.
your screen is visible.
Title of my research paper, crossover design, broad area of research, clinical trial. In clinical trial are research studies that are conducted in order to study and test new medical treatments such as drug, vaccine, medical devices. In clinical trial, evaluate the e- Effect of new drugs on humans. Clinical trial are compare a few drugs against existing drugs or against dummy medicines. Specific area of research, crossover design. In crossover design is a repeated measurement design such that each experiment units receive different treatment during the different time period. That is, the patient crossover from one treatment to another during the course of trial. The reason of to consider crossover design when planning a clinical trial is that could yield to more efficient compare of treatment than a parallel design. अ, क्रॉसओव्हर डिझाईन मध्ये
Mayuri,
दोन पार्ट.
Mayuri, just stop. Don't use Marathi and just explain the papers of
ओके.
directly.
इन क्रॉस
Okay.
इन
Don't
क्रॉसओव्हर
read
डिझाईन
read the.
in crossover design two different types with crossover design and within crossover design. In with crossover design, uh, consider one patient and give only one treatment on it, and in within crossover design, uh, consider one patient and give two different treatment on one patient. uh, Basic research paper, first research paper, title of research paper, crossover study of diet enriched with virgin olive oil, walnuts or almonds, effect on lipids and other cardiovascular risk markers. Work done. Uh, in this paper, 18 participants are involved, 9 women and 9 male. Mean age of this participant is 56 and BMI 25.7 kg, and in fact only 18 participant completed the trial. Six subject, it means six treatments are in this paper included, and they give randomly to patient and uh, patient. Six subject choose not to participate prior to randomization for person reason, mainly problem with clinic appointments. After randomization, two participants completed one and two diet sequence respectively, but left the study because they left it was too damning. The clinical characteristics of these subjects did not differ from those of the whole group. Second research paper, a critique of recent research on a two treatment crossover design. Work done in critical review is provided to recent article on two treatment crossover design that in this paper use within uh, crossover design. Uh, in this paper, suggesting that extra period design be employed in which treatment follow themselves, that the bias caused by the difference between the carryover effect may sometimes be ignored, that change from baseline be analyzed, that the series of preliminary tests using baseline using a performance. Baselines means when a patient uh, who gives treatment, first treatment A, then this treatment A is uh, after sometimes this person give B treatment, then A and B treatment मधील पिरियड त्याला वॉशआउट पिरियड म्हणतात. टू ट्रीटमेंट्स गिव्ह बिगिन compared will be denoted by two treatment A and B, and NAB denoted by number of patients studies in the sequence AB. A number of design and statistical solutions have been propose two problems that may exist with a two treatment crossover trials. This article has reviewed this proposed solution and has point out that many them has problem of their own. Third research paper, depression as a risk factor for ischemic heart disease in men, population based case control study.
मयुरी एक मिनिट सर
Okay, sir.
घोरपडे सर
हा बोला की सर.
त्यांचं मयुरीचं प्रेझेंटेशन झाल्यानंतर लेक्चर कंटिन्यू करता तुम्ही
ठीक आहे.
एक 5 मिनिटामध्ये होईल तिचं प्रेझेंटेशन
ओके ओके.
ओके सरांचं परत लेक्चर झाल्यानंतर थोडासा ब्रेक घेऊन मॅडम तुम्हाला सांगतील की जॉईन होण्यासाठी ओके
Okay, sir.
हा ओके जस्ट मयुरी गिव्ह ब्रीफ समरी ऑफ ऑल दिस पेपर
In this paper, in all these papers, consider two or more treatments, and in some papers, this treatment give within crosswear, and papers in give with crossover. Then after this analyzing statistical tools are used. Student T test and non-parametric test are used. Wilcoxon sign rank test, Mann-Whitney U test. फ्युचर स्कोप सांगू का सर डायरेक्ट सगळ्या पेपर मध्ये एकच यूज केलं म्हणजे ट्रीटमेंट घेतले फक्त ते विथ आणि विथिन मध्ये वापरलंय
Okay,
आणि
just give me
अनालाइज
difference
करताना नॉन
between the
पॅरामेट्रिक
talk in English. Just give me difference between. Answer the difference between the with and within.
with crossover design means consider one patient and this patient give only one treatment at a time, and within treatment means taking two patient A and
Mayuri,
B.
am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hello.
Yes.
Within crossover design, consider two patients, patient A and patient B, and consider two vaccine or drugs, X or Y. Then person A give to A treatment and person B give Y treatment. Then after some time, these treatments are crossing. Person A give Y treatment and person B give X treatment. This process is called within crossover design. Okay, sir.
And what is mean by with?
With crossover design mean only one patient. It has give only one treatment.
One patient and one treatment, and within two patient and two treatment. It's correct?
With in मध्ये सर एक मिनिट विथ इन मध्ये दोन पेशंट असणार ए आणि बी आणि दोन ट्रीटमेंट असणार एक्स आणि वाय. मग पहिल्या पेशंटला एक्स देणार, दुसऱ्या पेशंटला वाय देणार. नंतर थोड्या कालावधीनंतर पहिल्या पेशंटला एक्स दिलेल्या पेशंटला वाय देणार आणि वाय दिलेल्या पेशंटला एक्स देणार. त्या प्रोसेसला विथ इन म्हणतात.
I think you are lacking some points. So clear all these points and then contact to me. Okay?
ओके सर.
Okay. Sir, continue.
Yes, sir. Okay. Good afternoon to all.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. your data is sufficient, so turn on your video camera. Sonmay, mute your mic. All the students, turn on your video cameras. Not some of the. नाव फक्त घ्यायला लावू नका नंतर. Only 30 students are present. हर्षदा दुक्ते, अभिषेक, कैलास, भक्ती पवार, विशांत, नीलम गाडगे, शिवानी शिंदे, turn on your video camera. Okay, so in the last lecture we will discuss about the uh, some numerical problem or the definitions, that is monotonically increasing sequence, increasing decreasing sequence, monotonically decreasing sequence, and strictly decreasing sequence. And based upon this also we will discuss the sequence is when we say that the sequence is bounded and unbounded sequence. Okay, now the next point which is related to the limit point of the sequence, or simply it is called as an limits of the sequence. So there are two limits of the sequence. So generally we can consider as an lower limit and upper limit. Okay, so suppose if we have to considering the let any be the sequence, that is Sn for n is equal to 1 up to infinity, be the sequence, and it can be considering this sequence is like in two limits. Suppose an is less than or equal to Sn and less than or equal to Bn, then an and Bn are two limits of the sequence. Okay, so if you have to considering the an is nothing but the infimum of s1 s2 up to so on, and Bn is nothing but the supremum of the sequence s1 s2 up to so on. Okay, so what is mean by the infimum? So infimum is nothing but the minimum value of the sequence, and supremum is nothing but the maximum value of the sequence. Okay, so if you have to considering the an and bn, then we have to considering also an plus 1 and bn plus 1 are another two sequence, that is we have to considering the Sn1 plus 1, Sn1 plus 2. So an plus 1 is nothing but the infimum of Sn1 plus 1, Sn plus 2 up to so on. Bn plus 1 is nothing but the supremum of Sn1 plus 1, Sn1 plus 2 up to so on. Okay, so if the limits of the sequence exist, that is suppose if you have to considering the limit as n tends to infinity an and the limit as n tends to infinity bn, these are the exist, that is if you have to considering, that is if you have to considering if the limits are exist, then limit of an. So what is the an? What is the an? So an is nothing but the infimum point. Okay, so when we say that the given sequence is bounded sequence, that is there exists as upper bound as well as lower bound. Okay, then we can say that the given sequence. So if you have to considering the an is equal to infimum of the sequence, so if you have to limit r exists, then it can be considered as so list the upper bound of an. Limit as n tends to infinity exists, then there exists an where n is an any integer. That is limit as n tends to infinity an is equal to, that is the least upper bound of an. Also limit as n tends to infinity bn, which is equal to what about the bn? Yes,
Greatest lower bound.
very good. So this is nothing but the greatest lower bound of n belongs to the z plus bn. Okay, so these are the two limits. So this is called as, so limit as n tends to infinity LUB an, and limit as n tends to bn, which is equal to greatest lower bound of bn. So these two are called as the lower and upper limits of the sequence Sn. Okay, these are two limits of the sequence Sn, and it is denoted by, so how to denoted by, how to return, so yes, how to return, that is limit as n tends to infinity Sn is equal to limit as n tends to infinity infimum of S. So this is called as an limit inferior. This is called as an limit inferior, or limit as n tends to infinity Sn, which is equal to limit as n tends to infinity supremum of S. So this is called as an supremum of limit. So this is called as an supremum of limit. So there are two limits, that is inferior limit and superior limit. This is called as an limit superior or limit inferior. Is it clear? Yes?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay. Once again, I can instruct you, only 3 students turn the camera. What about the remaining students? Don't turn off camera if the lecture is over.
सर मग ते फळ्यावरच दिसत नाहीये.
Why?
कॅमेरा ऑन केला की ती रेंज जातीये.
ठीक है, नेटवर्क कनेक्शन स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं है. Okay, so is it clear the limit of the sequence?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now the next point in the sequence is nothing but the Cauchy sequence. The next point is nothing but the Cauchy sequence. So what is meant by the Cauchy sequence? Suppose what is meant by the sequence? So this is nothing but the real. Consider this sequence of the real numbers. Okay. So if you have to consider, let Sn be any sequence of the real number. Sn is nothing but the sequence of real number and is said to be the Cauchy sequence, and is said to be the Cauchy sequence if for all epsilon greater than 0, for all epsilon greater than 0, there exists a n naught belongs to the z plus. There exists a n naught belongs to the z plus such that for all m and n greater than 0 for all, sorry, m and n greater than n naught, such that for all m n greater than n naught, this implies that mod of Sn minus Sm is less than epsilon, less than epsilon. Then the sequence is called as the Cauchy sequence. Then the sequence is called as Cauchy sequence. Here, what is the definition of Cauchy sequence? A sequence of real number is said to be the Cauchy sequence if for all epsilon greater than 0 there exists n naught belongs to z plus, such that for all mn greater than n naught, Sn minus Sm is less than epsilon. Sn minus Sm is less than epsilon. Clear the definition of Cauchy sequence?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Then we will discuss the two theorems based upon the Cauchy sequence. So what is these two theorems? That is, the first statement, every Cauchy sequence is bounded sequence. What is the first statement? Cauchy sequence is a bounded sequence. And second, every convergent sequence is Cauchy sequence. ब्लॅकबोर्ड पूर्ण डिस्प्ले होतोय ना?
हो सर.
Okay, sir.
So it is the first Cauchy sequence is a bounded sequence, and second one is nothing but the every convergent sequence is Cauchy sequence. पहिल्यांदा इकडे लक्ष द्या सर्वांनी आणि नंतर वाटलं तर नोट डाऊन करून घ्या. ओके. Let Sn n is equal to 1 up to infinity be a Cauchy sequence. कारण की आपल्याला काय करायचंय, Cauchy sequence की काय ते बाउंडेड सिक्वेन्स येते हे आपल्याला काय करायचंय, दाखवायचंय. मग सिक्वेन्स, when we say that the given sequence is bounded, that is when either there
Bounded
exists,
below.
okay, bounded below or bounded above, that is there exists either least upper bound or greatest lower bound. Okay, so if you have to considering the Sn be the any Cauchy sequence, so if the given sequence is Cauchy sequence, that is, suppose if you have to taking the any epsilon, that is which is equal to 1, which is greater than 0. Okay, for any epsilon is equal to 1 which is greater than 0. For any epsilon equal to 1 which is greater than 0, there exists n naught belongs to the z plus, such that nm greater than n naught, nm greater than n naught. This implies that mod of Sn minus Sn is less than epsilon. बरोबर ना? When we say that the given sequence is Cauchy sequence, if we have to write down the Sn minus Sn is less than epsilon, what is the value of epsilon? That is mod of Sn minus Sn is less than 1, is less than n. Now put put m is equal to n naught. If we substitute the n is equal to n naught, so this implies that Sn minus Sn naught is less than 1, is less than 1. How this term can be written? How this term can be written? Yes.
Sn minus s n naught is equal to plus or minus 1.
No.
Then
How to can be written? There is one remark. So if you have to considering mod of mod Sn minus mod of Sn naught, then this is what is the relation between them? Or so this is less than or equal. Okay.
Less than.
Sn minus mod of Sn naught, which is less, and which is it is Sn minus Sn naught is less than 1. So therefore this implies that mod of Sn minus mod of Sn naught is less than 1, is less than 1. So this implies that if we have to simplify this term, then we have to get that if we have to simplify this, so mod of Sn into mod of, that is mod मध्ये mod असेल तर ते काय येणार आहे, पॉझिटिव्ह डिफाइन होणार आहे. ओके, सो मायनस mod of Sn naught which is less than 1. So this implies that mod of Sn is less than mod of Sn naught plus 1. Sorry, any doubt? Yes.
no.
Now take take m equal to take m equal to maximum of mod of s1 mod of s2 mod of s1 mod of s2 up to mod of s and not mod of s and not plus 1, mod of s and not plus 1. If you have to taking, so what is the maximum value among this? What is the maximum value among this? Yes. If you have to considering the m, so what is the maximum value of this sequence or this value?
Mod of Sn plus 1.
So m is equal to maximum value is Sn naught plus 1. Then we can write down here. Then Sn mod of Sn is less than or equal to m. So what is the m? M is nothing but the maximum. And what is the maximum? So this is nothing but the upper bound. Okay, so any number which is greater than this, therefore there exists an upper bound. M is nothing but the upper bound of the given sequence. Therefore, Sn is an bounded sequence. Sn is an bounded sequence. Clear? Any doubt? Hello?
No doubt, sir.
Okay. Then second one is nothing but the every convergent sequence is a Cauchy sequence. So what is meant by the convergent sequence? Yes.
Sequence which exists limit point.
If the given sequence exists a limit point, then we can say that the given sequence is convergent sequence. Let Sn be a convergent sequence. Sn be a convergent sequence and its limit L belongs to R. That is limit as n tends to infinity Sn equal to L. बरोबर ना? Then for all epsilon greater than 0, consider epsilon by 2 is greater than 0. There exists a and not belongs to Z plus such that for all n greater than or equal to n naught, when greater than or equal to n naught, this implies that काय ह्याच्यावरून if limit as n tends to infinity Sn is equal to L and for every epsilon by 2 greater than 0 n greater than or equal to n naught, then what we have to return? Yes, mod of Sn minus n is less than epsilon by 2. Mod of Sn minus L is less than epsilon by 2 for all m greater than n naught. This implies that mod of Sn minus L is less than epsilon by 2. Okay. Now consider Sn minus Sm. Sn minus Sm is equal to, if you have to considering Sn minus L plus L minus Sm, so is equal to Sn minus L minus काय Sm minus L. Okay, so हे काय येईल मग नेक्स्ट स्टेप मध्ये?
लेस दॅन आणि मॉड सेपरेट होणार ना.
एकच मिनिट. काय येईल मग हे? So which is less than or equal to Sn minus L plus mod of Sn minus L. हे लेस दॅन काय आहे तुमचं? epsilon by 2. हे काय आहे तुमचं? epsilon by 2. So which is less than epsilon. So Sn minus Sm less than epsilon. Therefore, for epsilon greater than 0, there exists a n naught belongs to Z plus such that n m greater than n naught, there exists a Sn minus Sn less than epsilon. Therefore, the given sequence is a Cauchy sequence. Therefore, the given sequence is Cauchy sequence. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Any doubt?
No, sir. तिथं सर थर्ड स्टेप मध्ये लेस दॅन मॉड एस एन मायनस एल प्लस मॉड एस एम प्लस एल पाहिजे ना.
Sm
लेस दॅन पाहिजे ना.
कुठे?
लेस दॅन इक्वल आहे तिथं.
इथं
लेस दॅन हा
इथं काय पाहिजे?
लेस दॅन.
ओके.
सर हे दिसत नाही, जरा सर बाजूला सरकार कसं.
क्लियर? चालेल? कैलास चव्हाण अरे आवाज येतोय की नाही माझा कोणाचा?
हो येतोय.
कधी बोलायचं? कैलास पहिल्यांदा तुलाच विचारलं होतं ना.
सर नेटवर्क विषय माझ्या इथे त्यामुळे हे होत आहे सर एकदम.
ओके, झालंय का राईट डाऊन करून?
हो सर.
हो सर.
पॉज केलं तर चालेल?
हो सर कर.
Now, next theorem. Cauchy sequence is convergent sequence. आता प्रूव्ह काय केलं आपण? कॉन्व्हर्जंट सिक्वेन्स इज कॉची सिक्वेन्स. आता प्रूव्ह काय करायचंय? कॉची सिक्वेन्स इज कॉन्व्हर्जंट सिक्वेन्स. कन्फ्युजन करून घ्यायचं नाही. कोणत्या स्टेटमेंटचं प्रूफ कोणतं आहे व्यवस्थित अंडरस्टँड करून नोट डाऊन करायचं. ठीक आहे? काय डाऊट असेल तर विचारा. Now next is nothing but the every Cauchy sequence is a convergent sequence. So now let us consider the proof. Let Sn be a Cauchy sequence. Be a Cauchy sequence. Okay, and what do I have to return? I think we have to already discuss the Cauchy sequence is an bounded sequence. बरोबर की नाही? आपण प्रूव्ह केले अगोदर. Therefore, if the sequence is Cauchy sequence, then Sn is also a bounded sequence. Sn is a bounded sequence. Okay. Now, for epsilon greater than 0, there exists a n naught belongs to z plus such that n greater than or equal to n naught, such that n greater than or equal to n naught. This implies that here we have to consider it the Sn plus p minus Sn is less than epsilon for all p belongs to the z plus. P belongs to the z plus. Then how to return this? Yes. So this can be written in the form of, so this implies that Sn minus epsilon is less than Sn plus p is less than Sn plus epsilon. These two steps is considered as equation number 1. समजतंय का?
हो सर.
Okay. Now, if you have to considering these two limits, that is an and bn. So an is equal to infimum of Sn plus 1, Sn plus 2 up to so on, and bn is equal to supremum of Sn plus 1, Sn plus 2 up to so on. Then an is less than or equal to Sn is less than or equal to bn for all n belongs to the z plus. Okay. So what is mean by the an? Therefore, an is काय असेल? an तुमचा काय आहे? इन्फिमम आहे ना, इन्फिमम ऑफ Sn plus 1 up to Sn plus 2 आणि bn काय आहे? सुप्रीमम आहे. म्हणजे an काय आहे तुमची? मोनोटॉनिकली इन्क्रीजिंग and काय असणार आहे तुमचा? बाउंडेड अबव. बरोबर ना? an काय तुमची? मोनोटॉनिकली इन्क्रीजिंग, कारण की सुरुवात कुठून होते तुमची? an कडून होते. बरोबर. Sn चा तुमचा फर्स्ट पॉइंट काय डिफाइन करतोय? दॅट इज an आणि दॅट इज द मिनिमम. सो दिस इज नथिंग बट दी मोनोटॉनिकली इन्क्रीजिंग. म्हणजे तिथून काय होणार आहे? इन्क्रीज होत जाणार आहे. अँड bn काय आहे तुमची? मोनोटॉनिकली डिक्रीजिंग अँड बाउंडेड बिलो. हे दोन स्टेटमेंट कसे केले लक्षात आलं का तुमच्या? an पासून स्टार्ट होते ते bn ला स्टॉप होते आणि bn पासून स्टार्ट होते ते खाली an ला स्टॉप होते. ठीक आहे. हे दोन काय झाले? तो an इज नथिंग बट दी मोनोटॉनिकली इन्क्रीजिंग. मोनोटॉनिकली इन्क्रीजिंग ला आपण कसं डिफाइन केलेलं होतं लक्षात येत असेल तर बघा. मोनोटॉनिकली इन्क्रीजिंग असेल तर S1 लेस दॅन ऑर इक्वल टू S2 लेस दॅन ऑर इक्वल टू S3 आणि मोनोटॉनिकली डिक्रीजिंग ला S1 ग्रेटर दॅन ऑर इक्वल टू S2 ग्रेटर दॅन ऑर इक्वल टू S3. ह्या फॉर्म मध्ये काय केलेलं होतं आपण? डिफाइन केलेलं होतं. बरोबर ना? So an is nothing but your monotonically increasing and is bounded above, and bn is nothing but the monotonically decreasing and is bounded sequence. Therefore, since Sn is bounded sequence, बरोबर. There exists either bounded below or bounded above. Therefore, Sn is bounded sequence.
एन सर बाउंडेड अबो पाहिजे ना बिलो पाहिजे ना
Bounded hello
हा एन आणि बीएन बाउंडेड बिलो आणि अबो पाहिजे
bounded below and above. Sn काय होतंय तुझा? Bn हा तुझा काय होतोय? Bn हा ग्रेटर आहे ना. मग Sn सिक्वेन्स काय होणार आहे? Sn सिक्वेन्स बाउंडेड बिलो होणार ना.
हा ओके ओके
हा तुझा काय आहे? लिस्ट ऑफ ग्रेटेस्ट लोअर बाउंड आहे ना, आणि हा तुझा लिस्ट अप्पर बाउंड आहे. आलं का लक्षात?
हो
Now An and Bn are two convergent sequence. Okay. आता बाउंडेड सिक्वेन्स आहे म्हटल्यानंतर त्याचे आपण काय केले? An आणि Bn हे दोन कन्सिडर केले. ओके. सो therefore consider the An and Bn are convergent sequence. Are convergent sequence, and its limit L belongs to R, and its limit L belongs to R by 1. 1 वरून काय डिफाइन करता येईल? By 1 and definition of An and Bn काय डिफाइन करता येईल? बाय 1 काय तुमचं? Sn मायनस epsilon is less than or less than Sn plus P is less than Sn plus epsilon, and by the definition of An is nothing but your monotonically increasing bounded above, and Bn is nothing but monotonically decreasing bounded below. मग त्याच्यावरून डिफाइन काय करता येईल? काय करता येईल बघा. Sn minus epsilon is less than An is less than Sn is less than Bn is less than Sn plus epsilon. करू शकतो का? करू शकतो का? For all n greater than or equal to n naught. बोला पटकन. So this implies that 0 is less than or equal to Bn minus An is less than or equal to since epsilon greater than 0. Since epsilon greater than 0, we have limit at n tends to infinity limit as n tends to infinity bn minus an equal to 0. bn minus an equal to 0. That is limit as n tends to infinity bn minus limit as n tends to infinity an is equal to 0. So this implies that limit as n tends to infinity bn is equal to limit as n tends to infinity equal to an. So if you are to considering the an and bn are convergent sequence and its limit is L, therefore limit as n tends to infinity an is equal to limit as n tends to infinity bn equal to n. Now an less than or equal to Sn less than or equal to Bn. So if limit as n tends to infinity Bn, limit as n tends to infinity An is equal to n, so this proves limit as n tends to infinity n is equal to n. Therefore, every sequence is a convergent sequence. ठीक है? Clear?
सर
बोला.
ती 0 इज लेस दॅन इक्वल bn मायनस an लेस दॅन इक्वल इप्सिलॉन ती टर्म कशी आली?
इक्वेशन नंबर 1 आणि बाय द डेफिनेशन ऑफ an आणि bn काय आहे ते चेक करा. ज्यावेळेस तुम्ही रिअल लाईन डिफाईन करताय त्यावेळेस रिअल लाईन तुमची कशी डिफाईन होते? an कुठं आहे, bn कुठं येतोय, हा सपोज तुमचा Sn हिता आहे, हा तुमचा काय आहे S मायनस इप्सिलॉन आहे, हा काय आहे तुमचा Sn प्लस इप्सिलॉन आहे, आणि ह्याच्यामध्ये काय आहे तुमचा an हिता आहे आणि इथं bn आहे. बरोबर की बरोबर का समान?
हा.
मग जर समजा Sn काय आहे तुमचा बाय 1 वरून काय आहे, तर Sn मध्ये इथं कुठेतरी तुमचा Sn प्लस p असेल इथं, बरोबर. ऑब्वियसली विच इज ऑल्सो लाइज इन an and bn. ओके, मग आपल्याला काय आपण डिफाईन काय केलेलं आहे, तर Sn प्लस p मायनस Sn विच इज लेस दॅन इप्सिलॉन आहे. ठीक आहे, म्हणजे तुमचा काय केला की ह्या bn मधून हा an जर सबट्रॅक्ट केला तर ऑब्वियसली तुम्हाला काय मिळतोय परत Sn मायनस इप्सिलॉन आणि Sn प्लस इप्सिलॉन, म्हणजे हा Sn प्लस जो आहे तो Sn प्लस p विच इज Sn टू Sn प्लस इप्सिलॉन. therefore म्हणजे हा तुमचा an आणि bn विच इज लाइज बिटवीन 0 टू इप्सिलॉन. ठीक आहे.
हा कळलं सर.
सर सर तो इन्फिमम म्हणजे लोअर बाउंड असतो ना?
इन्फिमम म्हणजे मिनिमम व्हॅल्यू, नॉट लोअर बाउंड.
मग त्यासाठी सर an हा बाउंडेड बिलो पाहिजे ना सर?
एन काय पाहिजे तुमचा?
बाउंडेड बिलो.
बाउंडेड बिलो. पण तुमचा इथं काय होतंय, मोनोटॉनिकली इन्क्रीजिंग सिक्वेन्स मध्ये काय डिफाईन करतो आपण? हा इथं काय एस एन जर डिफाईन केला तर एस एन काय होतो तुमचा? व्हॉट इज द
सर जर
बाउंडेड प्रॉब्लेम?
बाउंडेड बिलो असेल,
हा
एन जर बाउंडेड बिलो असेल तरच ISN ला लिमिट पॉईंट अशी म्हणजे एक्झिस्ट होणार ना. जर इन्क्रीज होत असेल तर कसं होईल सर? एन बाउंडेड बिलो पाहिजे ना सर.
एक मिनिट. जाधव,
हा सर.
याच्यामध्ये काय करतो आपण, दोन वेगवेगळ्या टर्म जर कन्सिडर केल्या तर हे काय येणार आहे तुमचं? समजा इथून हा एक टर्म कन्सिडर करा आणि इथून दुसरी टर्म कन्सिडर करा. बाउंडेड अबावला आपण डिफाईन कसं करतो? बाउंडेड अबाव म्हणजे तुमचा काय असतो? तो ग्रेटेस्ट लोअर बाउंड असतो का लिस्ट अपर बाउंड असतो?
बाउंडेड अबोला लिस्ट अप्पर बाउंड
लिस्ट
असतो.
लिस्ट अपर बाउंड असतो, बरोबर का नाही? मग एन काय आहे तुमचा?
बाउंडेड अबो आहे.
मग एन काय लिस्ट अप्पर बाउंडच आहे ना तो. सगळ्या अप्पर बाउंड मधला लिस्ट तो एन घेतलेला आहे, ठीक आहे. आणि बीएन काय आहे तुमचा? ग्रेटेस्ट लोअर बाउंड आहे. म्हणजे
नाही
ग्रेटेस्ट
सर, एन हा लोअर बाउंड आहे ना, इन्फिमम आहे म्हणजे
AN
आणि
ते?
बीएन अप्पर बाउंड. एन हा इन्फिमम आहे म्हणजे लोअर बाउंड आहे एन.
हा, पण बाउंडेड अबाव साठी काय डिफाईन करतो आपण?
पण सर वरती इन्फिमम आणि सुप्रीमम कन्सिडर केलंय ना, त्यानुसार घेतलं तर.
मग ठीक आहे, आता हे लिहून घ्या, नंतर मी बुक मध्ये चेक करून सांगतो तुम्हाला, ठीक आहे.
हा सर चालेल. वन
प्रेझेंट सर.
102 103
प्रेझेंट सर.
104 5
प्रेझेंट सर.
6 7
प्रेझेंट सर.
8
प्रेझेंट सर.
9
प्रेझेंट सर.
10
प्रेझेंट सर.
11
प्रेझेंट सर.
12
प्रेझेंट सर.
13 14
प्रेझेंट सर.
15
Present, sir. Present, sir.
16,
Present, sir.
कोणता नंबर झाला आता? 16 ना?
16. Present, sir.
17, 18, 19,
sir.
20, 21, 22,
Present, sir.
23, 24, 25,
Present, sir.
26,
Present, sir.
27,
Present.
28, 29, 29, 30,
Present, sir.
31, 32,
Present, sir.
33, 34,
Present, sir.
35,
Present, sir.
36, 37, 38, 39,
Present, sir.
40,
Present, sir.
41,
Present, sir.
42,
Present, sir.
43,
Present, sir.
44.
Present, sir.
Absent roll number मी अनाउन्स करतो. 2, 4, 6, 13, 18, 19, 21, 22, 24, 25, 29, 32, 34, 37.
सर 102 प्रेझेंट.
मग कुठे गेले होते प्रेझेंटीच्या वेळेला?
सर आवाज नाही आला मला तुमचा.
आवाजच आला नाही का? छान. तर सर्वांसाठी कॉमन सूचना आहे, एक 15 ते 20 मिनिटाचा ब्रेक घ्या आणि त्याच्यानंतर सर्वांनी परत सेमिनार साठी जॉईन करायचंय. ठीक आहे? जे कोणी सेमिनारला अब्सेंट असतील त्यांचे फायनल पर्यंत सेमिनारचे मार्क्स कन्सिडर केले जाणार नाहीत, लक्षात ठेवायचे. म्हणजे आपला झालाय, आपला काही संबंध नाही असं कोणीही समजायचं नाही. मस्तपैकी जेवण करा आणि जॉईन. ठीक आहे? ओके? येस और नो?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
ओके, थँक्यू.